All right, so we're here at Hazle Tints today. I'm getting the front windows tinted. I got Ethan and Vinny. You have an awesome Facebook page. I've been watching your work all winter since I got my truck in December. You guys do incredible stuff with cars. I'm excited to have you just make my truck look better today. So what do we got on the back? Like factory tint, is that like 20%?
Yeah, so this is a dye 20. I can even grab the meter. We're actually throw a meter on there, and I'll tell you exactly what the percentage is. You guys can see here, this is actually metering at 25%, not 20.
Yep. The visual light transmission is 25%, so 75% of the light is blocked and 25% is allowed to go through.
Gotcha. And like you were saying, so that's interesting though, what you were saying, Ethan. So factory tint, right? You get a vehicle like this off the dealer lot. It's got some tint, but that factory tint gives you no
protection at all.
No heat rejection, no
UV and IR protection.
And it is interesting because most of us, you know, we all come in here because we just want our trucks to look cooler, but there is actual other benefits to it.
Most people don't realize the other benefits. Like each film level has a purpose and a benefit outside of just making glass black. That's the big thing that most people just don't they're just naive to the reality of it because they never had a tint shop to go and explain these kind of little things to them.
So open up the door here, Vinny. I know you were getting ready to sort of pull the panel off and everything. Just give me like a 30-second rundown of exactly what you're gonna do and how long it takes to like install the film and all that.
All right, so when we come up to a window, first thing we do is we have two guys on it usually. One guy will get the ear from right here. He'll go over our plotter, start cutting it out, getting ahead of the game. And then the prep guy will come up to the doors. And we like to do what's called bottom load, where we pop the panel off. We hang the panel from here, pull the seal out. This way, when we put the tint in, it never touches anything. There's other ways to tint. It's just not our style here because we like the tint to be as perfect as possible. And the big goal behind us doing this is to get this sweep out so we don't get this felt into our tint. Because if you look, even if it's clean and new, you still got fuzzies and everything like that will be rubbing on the window that will end up in your tint. That's why we go through this process.
So that's it, guys. I mean, you want to go to a good tint shop where you have experienced technicians because like Vinny was explaining to me earlier with that felt liner, you get that little tiny pieces of debris, and when you have the install is fresh, you don't even see it. But he was saying after 30 days, 45 days, the tint cures and you start to see all the little imperfections, which he's trying to keep out of there in the first place.
Yeah, those felt seals, they just little black fuzzies that come off of them. You don't see them right away. And a lot of tinters will say what we do is unnecessary. But when we're done tinting these windows, you'll see why we do these little things and why we feel it's necessary.
So what I'm doing here is we actually place our window tint on glass boards just because it's cleaner. A lot of guys you'll see that don't have glass boards, they'll peel it off the back of a vehicle, which again, I mean, it's not a terrible way to do it. It's just, to me, I don't want to peel it off your paint because there's countless people that come to me saying that other tinters tint their vehicles that are black and have scratches down their paint because they never clean the surface around it. So they're dragging all that dirt down the side of their paint when they're pulling these. So
you're putting it on this glass and spraying it with what, soap?
This is just water. So basically I do this just because say there is lint in the air or dust in the air, it might be on the pattern. I sit here and I spray it off and I wipe it off just because when I peel this back, there's actually static to it. So you don't want that to pull into your windows. And a couple things that we do here. Number one, we razor windows here. They don't like the razor windows. They like the scrubby, but I razor windows still. You want to use a stainless steel blade just because if you use a carbon blade or something that isn't stainless, you can actually scratch these windows horribly. So you don't want to do that.
And you're just basically sliding it into position.
Yep, we're making sure we got no light gaps here so that you have a perfect window. You want to make sure that you wet the surface before you actually squeegee it down because, again, you'll see some nightmares. The window tint will literally just rip right off the window. That's how dry this is. What I do is I usually bump my edge down so I can be leveled with it before, you know, I can start my shaving process. But then I go over it one more time before that so that I can make sure everything's out of the surface. Because if you leave a drop of water somewhere and you go to push over it after every other surface is dry, you'll leave what's called a glue mark. So you don't want bright white marks in your window tint. And this may seem a little repetitive, but this is just to be on the safe side. You know, as a tint shop owner, you don't want to have to replace a piece of tint and waste your material costs. The magic here that we do that most shops don't do, and this is why we're pretty special here, we shave edges here. So this is our file here. You're gonna have a nice, perfect, clean top edge.
What's shaving?
So basically you can see here your top edge. I'm gonna take a file and I'm gonna end up shaving this tint off. You'll notice right now it looks perfect, but I can actually grab the tint from the top edge and rip it off. So what I'm doing here is making sure that it's right on the bezel. It's perfect. You won't have any light gaps. You won't even know that this is a piece of tint that is actually on here as a film. You would think it's dyed in the glass. On to our final step, and we're just gonna clean off the window, clean the surrounding of the panel off.
Vinny's putting the panel back on, baby. It's looking good.
Yeah, it came out pretty sweet.
So you were saying, Vinny, you think that tint's like the best
I feel
bang
like,
for your buck kind of thing?
yeah, if you want an aesthetic mod that's truly going to change the outside look of the vehicle without breaking the bank, tint's by far the best, because any big panel part, like a carbon fiber part or a big dramatic change to the vehicle, it's going to be expensive by the nature of cars. Tint is relatively affordable, but dramatically changes the look of any car. That's my favorite thing about it.
Did on my
Just
car.
like that, we're done. Sorry, Ethan. See? Just like that. So it's not, to me, it's not worth the struggle of fighting tint onto a window to just take a door panel off, because it really takes 2 minutes if you know what you're doing. Even the hardest door panels should be 10 minutes max. Like, the hardest of the hard take us about 10 minutes now. So any basic door panel, it's a no-brainer to just take it off to get a better install of the window tint.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks great, man. Thank you so
Of
much.
course, thank you.
There it is, finished product on the window. Looks great. Now I'm talking to Ethan about doing a little black appearance package
Yeah.
treatment.
So a lot of people do eyelid kits. They have them for WRXs, STIs, Supras, Veloster Ends. There's endless counts. I don't know about the Maverick, but I mean,
Well, you know, like I was saying, Ethan, if you look, okay, on so the Maverick comes in 3 trims, right?
Yep.
You got your XL, your XLT, which my truck is, and your Lariat.
Mhm.
In your Lariat trims, this section up here is a signature LED daytime running light.
okay,
On the XL and the XLT, there's nothing.
nothing.
It's inoperable, right? There's no electronics, there's no lighting fixtures up here. There's just a piece of plastic.
Yep.
Okay, here on my XLT, it's a silver piece of plastic that's behind, you know, the outer headlight housing here.
So we're
It-
trying to.
And in the black appearance package or the tremor trim, that's black plastic inside there, and it kind of gives that black look from the inside, but you still have this clear
Exactly.
plastic on top. What I'm talking about having Ethan do is take and just essentially, like he talked about, he used that word eyebrow. He's going to take black matte or satin black PPF film and put it over that section
Yep.
to kind of give it that black appearance package look
Yep.
with a piece of vinyl.
And I think we're gonna do it right here, so then it still has a nice straight perfect line, because if we came down in here it would roll in and then you would have an ugly line down here, and we don't want that. We want to keep this as clear as possible here and just cut it in
Yep,
half.
nice and clean.
So
All right, man. So we're going to let this guy work his magic.
yeah,
All right, man. So they got this done. Vinny's under the gun. I got another customer holding the camera so he can get people moved through here. They're doing a heck of a business here. But I think this looks great. They installed this vinyl over the top inoperable part of the headlights. Dude, you did a great job.
Appreciate it, man.
You
Thank you so
pinch
much for the business,
on
buddy.
that, and I am super happy with the tint, the eyebrows there on the
Yeah, it
headlights.
came out great.
Truck looks a lot better.
And I'm glad you came in, man. Glad we got the truck up your ride, make it right.
And I appreciate you guys like showing me the whole process.
Of course,
if you're
of course.
looking to get stuff done, mods on your vehicle, like you got to find a good local shop with guys like Vinny and Ethan who really know what they're doing.
Always try to talk to the guy doing the work, not the guy trying to sell it to you. That's my advice. If you're
Absolutely.
talking to guys doing the work, usually you're in a shop that you should be pretty good.
Yeah.
Not concrete, but that's a good way to go about it.
Well, and when you have somebody who actually lets you come back here in the shop with a camera, that's a pretty good sign that they're not ashamed or
Or
embarrassed
afraid, yeah.
about
We're
what
just
they're
pretty
doing.
confident it's going to be right.
All right, well, hey, man, I'll let you get back to work.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Got it.